It is without question the biggest deadline day trade in Toronto Raptors history, a move that signifies even more the franchise's all-in assault on an NBA final appearance this year. Team president Masai Ujiri, mindful of a window closing on this roster of soon-to-be free agents, obtained veteran center Marc Gasol from the Memphis Grizzlies on Thursday in a dramatic shakeup to his roster. The cost was steep. Still young center Jonas Valanciunas, slump-ridden CJ Miles and free agent to-be guard Wright, along with a 2024 second-round draft pick, but with Eastern Conference rivals making substantial moves of their own, Ujiri could not wait. Toronto made a second deal, as well. They moved backup center Greg Monroe and a second-round draft pick to the Brooklyn Nets for cash. The two trades were still awaiting league approval late Thursday night after a hectic day of league-wide activity. League lawyers have to go over every transaction on conference calls, and 5 hours after the 3 p.m. deadline a Toronto-Memphis call had not been scheduled. It is a formality, but until it's complete, no team official can comment on the transaction. Gasol is a two-time All-NBA selection, a three-time All-Star and the 2013 Defensive Player of the Year, and while not as spry or as effective at 34 years old as he was at 28, he is still a formidable presence. He's known as one of the best passing big men in the league and should thrive working at the elbow in Toronto's offense. He's one of the best centers in the league for a long time now, Fred VanVleet told reporters in Atlanta, where the short-handed Raptors faced the Hawks on Thursday night. A perennial All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, so just really excited to see how we can acclimate him to what we do and see how much he can give us a boost. Obviously we are very excited about that. From left, Jonas Valanciunas, CJ Miles and Wright, along with a 2024 second-round pick, were sent to Memphis in exchange for center Marc Gasol. Toronto Star file photos. With the seismic move, the most significant draft day trade in franchise history and one of the most important overall, the Raptors were able to keep pace with other big movers atop the Eastern Conference. The East-leading Milwaukee Bucks made an equally important trade when they got versatile big man Nikola Mirotic from the New Orleans Pelicans for a package that included 4 second-round draft picks. A solid three-point shooter, Mirotic should be a crucial addition paired with Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Philadelphia 76ers had started the conference arms race when they obtained Tobias Harris from the Los Angeles Clippers earlier this week. The Raptors took notice, with Ujiri and general manager Bobby Webster pulling the trigger on the deal about 2 hours before the deadline. The deals leave the Raptors with a paper-thin roster as they move to the buyout market to get to the league-mandated level of 13 players. They currently have 10 players under contract: Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Gasol, VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Norm Powell and Patrick McCaw, and Chris Boucher and Jordan Lloyd on two-way deals. Ujiri and Webster have to fill out the roster in the next 13 days, and have already had contact with a few players who have been either waived or bought out of their existing deals. Toronto does have a commodity that's quite interesting to potential additions: playing time. With only 2 centers on the roster and 2 bench regulars in Wright and Miles gone, there will be minutes to offer. There will be predictable names bandied about. Miami's Wayne Ellington and New York's Wesley Matthews would be among them, and others will emerge when buyouts are complete. Departure of Valanciunas came hours before he was supposed to return from a 25-game injury absence due to a dislocated thumb and subsequent surgery. The 26-year-old has spent his entire career with the Raptors after being drafted 5th overall in 2011. The native of Lithuania grew to love the city and the country and said Thursday morning he had no desire to leave even if rumors were swirling. "Experience does that for you," Valanciunas told reporters in Atlanta on Thursday morning. "I have been in rumors so many times I don't even look at it. I just know one thing: we have a good team. We have a good future in front of us for this season, so I just want to go on the court and play ball and win the games. That is what I want to do. I love Toronto and I want to stay there, but what athletes want and what they get are often mutually exclusive. It doesn't make the job of shipping them out any easier for the team executives who hold such sway over their lives. It's a whirlwind of emotions, Van Vliet said in Atlanta. We're going through it like all you guys are, in real time. Obviously for a guy like JV, who has been out so long and was just anticipating getting back on the floor tonight, he's probably just more frustrated that he doesn't get to play today than anything. Obviously as teammates, we feel for those guys and it's sad to see them go. Losing Miles and Wright will be less significant from a basketball standpoint, but they were respected teammates whose presence will be missed in the locker room. Miles has been mired in a season-long slump, but had shown flashes of breaking out of it in the last couple of weeks, and Wright has a creativity and feel for the game that's unique, even if he had been inconsistent this season. Coach Nick Nurse has yet to speak about the trade or whether he'd consider splitting the starting center role between Ibaka and Gasol, like he did between Ibaka and Valanciunas depending on matchups. But Gasol's passing and deep shooting skills should allow him to fit seamlessly into a motion offense, and having him directing plays with ball from the elbow could be a formidable plan of attack. It's unclear when Gasol will join the Raptors, who play again in New York on Saturday. He has to report and have a physical, and Valanciunas, Miles and Wright have to report to Memphis to do the same. Read more. Raptors center Jonas Valanciunas ready to return from dislocated thumb. Raptors will trade options after Sixers load up with Harris. Opinion, Doug Smith, why the Raptors should do nothing ahead of NBA's trade deadline. Doug Smith is a sports reporter based in Toronto. Follow him on Twitter, @SmithRepsReport, and air journalistic standards about the star sports action and reaction delivered to your inbox. New NEWSLETTERSPORTSIGN up.